Here are the best fantasy basketball pickups after week 14. One still got to be Khalil Ware. I mean, he's still only rostered in 27.4% of leagues. He should be rostered in 100% of leagues the way he's performing. You look at the 20.7 fantasy point average, that's misleading. He's been averaging over 35 fantasy points the last few weeks and well over 25 minutes per game. Another guy that's been hooping but going under the radar is Duncan Robinson, 5.8% rostered in ESPN fantasy leagues. This is a guy that's averaged over 33 minutes per game the last 2 weeks and over 30 fantasy points per game. He's getting a lot of minutes, especially with the Jimmy Butler situation, and he's utilizing them to his advantage. Josh Okogie is another guy that I like a lot. He's been balling for the past few weeks. In Charlotte, we know that LaMelo's hurt half the time. Brandon Miller's now going to miss the rest of the season. You got guys missing games left and right, and Okogie, he's been utilizing and taking advantage of those opportunities. Same with Isaiah Collier. I mean, they've had a lot of guard injuries recently, and I know he was awesome and has been on this list before a few weeks ago. Then a few guards came back. His minutes went down a little bit. Now he's been playing again. They're realizing that this guy is legitimately talented and a part of their future, and they're playing him, and he's doing really well. Only rostered in 8.5% of leagues. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this dude's name, but you should pick him up. 7.8% rostered in ESPN fantasy leagues. This guy's been getting like two steals per game. He gets a block here and there. Can dish it out and get some assists, plays point guard position. Jalen Johnson out for the rest of the year, so there's minutes to be had on this Hawks team. And he's been taking advantage of them. He's like a 6'8" point guard. I really like the way this guy plays. Nikola Jovic, similar to Jaime Jaquez, who was on this list last week, but had really a down week. And of course, Duncan Robinson is taking advantage of his minutes, 13.8% roster in ESPN fantasy leagues. I would take a look at him as well. Spencer Dinwiddie. I know Luka Doncic is still out. Kyrie plays. He misses a few games here and there, but Dinwiddie's been able to coexist with Kyrie. He's had 40-plus fantasy points 2 of his last 3 games, I believe. This is a guy I would take a chance on picking up. Finally, Keon Ellis. I mean, because of what he does on the defensive end of the floor, he's always going to put up fantasy points despite the minutes. Now, it says 21.5 minute average. It's well over 26 over the last few weeks. Only rostered 2.8% of ESPN fantasy leagues. I think he's a solid play on a nightly basis. Did I miss anybody? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to follow for more fantasy basketball content like this.